behind 3 or 4 big companies, and now he's getting very excited about the D.AI.SY project. Frank is intertwined and interlinked with the founders, which is fantastic. Frank's team creates these slides you see. So if you've been on my presentation, you will notice the slides that I particularly prefer, which is these, the nice color you can see on the screen. And we do some personalization on that for my style. And of course, he's providing this in multiple languages. And I would also like to thank all of you on the call who have provided us with the translations. So we now have it, I believe, in 13 or 14 different languages. And I know some of you guys on the call have taken your valuable time to do the translations. And if there's a language you require, please allow us to send you the Word file for the most recent presentation. And if you would kindly either update it, because there's been a few changes, or if your language hasn't been taken care of, if you would please find maybe someone that would give us the proper natural tongue, I suppose, for your language, we can create these slides and help you build your business. The situation is that with this particular opportunity, there essentially is no company. It's not like there's a massive office with 50 people working and customer support, because we're using a smart contract. And for that reason, it's down to the founders who are putting 20 hours, 21 hours, they'll stretch it to 22 hours if they have to get this right. And once the smart contract goes live, it doesn't require a company. There will be no essentially customer support, because it's not required. When you enter a smart contract, the application takes care of everything. It takes care of the payments. There's no banking required. There's no shipment, deliveries, orders. It's a bit like Bitcoin that's up in the sky. You can't edit it, you can't change it, you can't touch it. And for this reason, we're very, very excited about this particular project. And it's kind of unique because we've got a supplier in the name of Endotech. And maybe I should record this, eh? How about that? Maybe I should record this, and then maybe if it's a clean edit or it's useful to you, you can get this back to your teams. So let me just record that. Can I just see, did Frank make the panelist? Are you on the call with us today, Frank?
I am.
Oh, fantastic, buddy. It's great to have you here. So let me record this, and let's address this this audience. I want to thank every one of you for coming to this presentation at a very, very special time in our lives and a very special time in our careers. And it's a time in our lives when you've got to put up with the challenges, that pioneering phase. The pioneering phase is never easy. And that's why we're relying on good leaders like yourselves. We have people who were expecting links yesterday. We've had delays from the 21st of December to the 4th. And that just comes with the area that we're in. When you get involved in technology, and particularly a smart contract, and that's why we have to be patient, because you can't edit a smart contract. A smart contract, once it's deployed to the network, there's no way back. There's no way back into a smart contract. And that's what we want. We want a smart contract with no back doors. If you create a smart contract with a back door that allows you in to change stuff, then that's not as safe as locked up with private keys front and back end. You can't edit, you can't change anything. And we like this model of the smart contract. This word has been used so many times with other companies, but right now we love it because a smart contract can't come into to work late in the morning. They can't get a headache and not show up. A smart contract won't talk back to you. A smart contract has no personality. A smart contract has no ego. And you'll find in this business that people start opportunities with good intentions. But when they start making money, something changes inside the human. There's a factor called greed. there's a factor called dishonesty that comes in. And when they're tempted with big pots of money, sometimes they're happy to walk away with that. And you can't do that with D.AI.SY because there is no money inside D.AI.SY. When you enter and make a contribution, the money is deployed immediately through hard coding that it's dispersed immediately to everybody, wallet to wallet, peer to peer, person to person. So it's not sitting in a bank account. It's not sitting where somebody can run away with the money. And that's what we love. And on the other side of the D.AI.SY project, the supplier of the product is Endotech. And that's something I'd like to take a quick look at now for you guys. So if you allow me, please let me just go to Google. And let's take a look at a few things that might help you with your business. So if I go to Google, let me find how would I get a Google up here? That's photographs. Maybe I have to open, one wee second, maybe I have to open up Google on my computer first of all. Let's go to, let me go to Binance. That will give me a web page. Just bear with me, please. You might find this very, very useful. Now let me share my screen. Where is sharing screen? Share screen. And here is Binance. And now we know we're on the internet. We're live. We can see Bitcoin's price there, $32,000. Let's take a quick look at Tron, because that's quite interesting for us, ladies and gentlemen. Many of you have been able to get your Tron. Other people were having problems. And that was one of the other situations we had, that Clever, one of the applications we endorsed, had an issue with its credit card payment to buy Tron. And many of the community were struggling to get the Tron to fund the wallet, to be in the structure, to allow this to roll out. That was one of the issues. And there were a few other issues from a technical point of view. You can see Tron today it's great. It's a good price. And when this community goes live and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands put pressure on this coin, the potential is for it to rise in itself. And now we have a little bit of time to get people into their wallets, to get funded up at a very, very good price. But I've noticed it's gone up to 3 cents. And you might say there's very little difference. Well, there's nearly 10% of difference when it just moves this tiny little piece. And that could mean a lot to some people. $100, 10% is $10. It's only a $90 pack if you can buy your Tron at the right time. And for those of you going in at $100,000, you know, 10% fluctuation is $10,000 of a saving if you can pick up when you can get your Tron. So we know a lot of the community were trying to use credit cards to buy Tron, because we must respect that not everybody understands cryptocurrency. They've heard the word. They maybe understand a little bit about Bitcoin. They maybe understand a little bit about Ethereum. But when it comes to Tron, it is a top 20 cryptocurrency. That's fine. But we've used the word Tron wallet. And I want you to understand that when I say you need a Tron wallet, people go to Binance, or they would go to Bittrex or Kraken or whatever exchange, because that's where their Bitcoin is, and they go and click their Tron wallet, and they have these Tron wallets ready to go into the system. And that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a decentralized app. And unfortunately, it's also called Tron Wallet. So there are 3 wallets we would support. It's the Tron wallet, it's the Tron Link wallet, and it's the Clever wallet. Now, if you're into cryptocurrency or you've been in these type of programs, you understand that. But think about the community we're drawing to this massive opportunity. We're bringing people from the health and wellness industry. They're not familiar with cryptocurrency like maybe you are. We're bringing people from the telecommunication industry. They're not familiar with even getting paid in Bitcoin or that whole cryptocurrency world. So when I say, have you got a Tron wallet? And they say, yes, here it is. That is a Tron wallet, but it's not the Tron wallet application with the dApps browser. So there's been a lot of confusion, and the programmers have identified in the tests very early on that these wallets won't work. And if people insert that and try to register, it's it's going to mess up the whole program. So there's doing a little bit of work, and Frank will give us a little bit of update because we've just had a call with Jeremy Roma this morning. We'd like to share a little bit of information with you when we bring on Frank. So it's a great time to get Tron. It's 10% down right now. And after this call, you might want to continue to build your teams, build your structure, and get people funded. Okay, that will be our biggest challenge. And once you've done that once or twice, once you've helped 2 or 3 people, then it becomes natural, like driving a car. It's awkward for those not familiar with cryptocurrency, but once you do it a couple of times, it's a new skill. It's something that will help you for the rest of your life. Because if you're not familiar, I can tell you our children will be. They're getting very, very savvy in cryptocurrency and blockchain, et cetera, et cetera. But as we're on the internet here, let me open a new tab and let's bring up our good friend Google. And let's see what Mr. Google can help us with today. And if I type in who owns Gemini, yeah, I did the search earlier. Who owns Gemini, Gemini.com? Who owns Gemini.com? Well, thank you, Mr. Google. Tyler Winklevoss. Now, I don't know if you know who Tyler is. Tyler and his brother Cameron are 2 very, very famous people. In fact, they were involved at the beginning of Facebook. They're very wealthy individuals, and it says here, Gemini is a New York trust company that is regulated by the New York State Department of Financial Services and was founded 6 years ago in 2014 by Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss. These guys are billionaires. You do all the homework you like on them. And they started this project called Gemini 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and it's a cryptocurrency exchange. So if we just go down here, guys, and have a look, Gemini.com. And when you click on this, it brings you to their website. And it now tells you that cryptocurrency is about giving you greater choice, independence, opportunity. We're here to help you on your journey. These Winklevoss brothers are very well respected billionaires. Billionaires. You can see them here in some of the video content. But when you go across this website of theirs and we click on institutions and we start reading about what do these guys do and who are they associated with, and you start reading this in your due diligence, our institutional suite of products, and you read down here, something occurs, a name pops out, built for industry leaders, built for industry leaders. Institutions can partner with our most trusted digital assets. And what we see here now, ladies and gentlemen, is the company Endotech. And if you're new, you don't know who they are, but I'm sure we have leaders on this call. And it gives me great confidence, and I hope you and your team confidence, when you can marry this story together, that Endotech is not some kind of network marketing thing or some kind of affiliate program, or Endotech is a well-respected, well-trusted business worth $100 million. And when the Winklevoss brothers are happy to promote Endotech, just like you are, it gives us great confidence. You see, in the trading world, if you have an account on Binance, you can link an API, it's just a little bit of code, to get a robot to trade your money on Binance. And on Gemini, which is the Winklevoss brothers version of that, they're endorsing Endotech as a trusted and respected partner. What these boys are saying is, hey, if you've got money in our exchange, we highly recommend these companies to use for your robotic trading. And this might help you and people see the bigger vision of what we've got here and why this must be correct. And Endotech are not going to ruin their reputation getting involved in some kind of ugly thing, some kind of scammy thing. No. There's a special arrangement in a special legal environment called crowdfunding. And that means we cannot speak about investing because you're not a financial advisor. And you cannot give people advice what to do with their money. And therefore, you don't say, where's my money? How much have I invested in this? You don't use that language, guys, because that attracts the wrong crowd. What you're actually doing is contributing. You're contributing to a crowd fund. Now, when you think of crowdfunding outside of network marketing, think about the pure business of crowdfunding. How does it work? Think about that. Maybe a local school or a charity or a small business in your town is trying to crowdfund a new idea or a new business. And what you do is you have a read at it and you go, yeah, that sounds interesting. I like this project. Do you know what? I'd like to contribute. I'd like to give something towards that idea. It sounds like a good idea. And very often when you make this crowdfunding contribution, you get a reward. You get something back for that. And sometimes it's equity or stock in the company. Now, we have leaders on this call from all over the world. And we're starting to see that there are industry leaders, giants, coming together for this unique opportunity. And for that reason, there's been a short delay to double check that this smart contract is perfect before we deploy it. Because if we make a mistake, you can't change it. You cannot change it. So what we want to do is we want to, imagine I created a device like this phone. And I had this special idea. And I said, guys, this is great. It's called a smartphone. It's a little bit different. It doesn't have the buttons. It's kind of like touch screen. We're going to put applications on it. I mean, it's a great idea, but guess what? I have no money to develop it. I mean, I've got it so far, but I need to get it to the manufacturing stage. But this is going to be brilliant. And you say, hey, Hugh-Paul, that's fantastic. I'd like to be part of that. I can give you $100. I can give you $200. You can contribute as a crowd fund to this business. And I might say to you guys, if we get this iPhone off the ground, I'm going to give you a part of the company. I'm going to give you a share in the equity of this company if we get this to work. It's only an idea. It has to go and get manufactured. We have to test it. But if we get this into the shops, if we get this into the hands of the people, you can have a slice of this. I'll do another thing. I'll give you one more benefit. The first benefit I will give you is stock in my company. But here's what I'm also going to do, because you're good friends of mine. These devices will sell at $800. I'm going to give to you at $70. Do you know why? Because that's all it costs me to manufacture them. So if you're going to help me produce this, I will give you shares in my company, and I will give you these devices at wholesale price. Is that fair enough? That's called fair exchange. And fair exchange, when there is fair exchange, there's value. And when there's value, the price doesn't matter. And the value we have here is this company on the screen, Endotech, is offering our community 10% of their stock, 10% of their equity when she takes this to the stock market. Now, when you go here and you're on Gemini's website of the Winklevoss twins and you see Endotech, have a look at the other names around here. I don't know if you know who Oppenheimer is, but when you can stick these names together and when you click on Endotech, this is hyperlinked. Watch what happens. Click on that from Gemini, $1 billion on Gemini. Look where it goes to. It's hyperlinked. So this is real live hyperlink from the Winklevoss twins site called Gemini.com, which is a massive trading platform. They're recommending this company that you're recommending. When you click on their site, it brings you to our site. Look, Endotech, when you click on blog, what happens? When you click on blog, corporate statement regarding the relationship between Endotech and D.AI.SY, and that brings you into the marketplace because it's your reputation, it's your friends. You see, your friends trust you. They don't know Endotech. They know you. And you must do your due diligence and homework to be 100% confident with this opportunity. So the supply side, in my short demonstration today, should make you very confident in the project. And the smart contract side, it makes you more confident because nobody can get in and run away with the money. Everybody is paid instantly. It's the fusion of Endotech's credibility and the smart contract that's nearly ready to be deployed that gives us a massive opportunity. So what I'd like to do now is introduce you to my good friend Frank. Frank is incredible what this man has achieved. And when you look at any company, here's my guidance, here's my advice. The first thing you look at is not the company. The first thing you look at is the product. Who needs this product? Is this product valuable? Can I share this product? So if you think the Endotech product is good because there's $1 billion in it already, it must be good. It must be a good product. So if you believe in the product, you can make money passively from the rewards, the trading rewards that you can withdraw any profits, or you can leave to compound with a big company like this. That's the first thing. Can I sell this product? Yes. Now, if you can sell this product, or if you like this product, the second thing is important is who is behind this product? Who is behind it? Is it a man living in a kitchen that has no business skills, or is it a $100 million company? Can it deliver the product? Is it well funded? Have they good intentions? So you're happy with the product, making money. You're happy with the company Endotech. The next thing is the compensation plan. Does D.AI.SY pay out reasonably? Guys, it pays out fantastically if you look at my presentation from the income point of view. So now we have a good product, we have a good company, we have a good compensation plan locked inside a smart contract that can't be touched. And the fourth thing you must look at is, who is the team? What is the team? Where do I get support? How do I get training? Where do I get my information? And because this is very new, the information that we get is all over the place. People don't know what's going on. And we want to guide you and help you and give you the best support we can. Our team is doing between 4 and 7 presentations a day. Frank's team is working on the videos. Frank's team is working on the interviews with Dr. Anna Becker. Frank's team is working on the PowerPoints in multiple languages to serve you. But we're directly hooked into an incredible upline. And our upline, no disrespect to the others because there are others, is Jeremy Romo and Rabu. They're our upline. And you are part of this team, and we want to start communicating in an effective way. But you've got to understand the information is reserved between the founders and the coders for the technology and Endotech. And once this releases, we don't need the information. We're ready to go, guys. We're ready to go. So Frank, you've done an amazing job. Thank you so much. Maybe you could share something with this community and give them some guidance, some of your wisdom about what we have our hands on here with the D.AI.SY project. Over to you, Frank.
Well, thank you very much, Hugh. My goodness, that was a lot of information you covered. Very inspiring. I think I want to join D.AI.SY if that's okay with you. Quick introduction, folks, because I believe it's the first time we've met on this platform this evening. So I'll give you the, I call the 30 seconds of Frank Varon propaganda. I'm a 64-year-old former CEO. I had a long traditional career. I was the CEO of 11 different companies. A couple of them were pretty big. Two were over 3,000 employees. So I had a very active career. And I got involved in this industry, amazingly, with the same company that Hugh did way back when, 20-something years ago. For me, it was in the fall of 1998. I think he was introduced in 99. So for me, it was 22 years ago, or the 22nd year since I was introduced to the industry. And I recognized then from a business perspective and looking now at that point at our industry, relationship marketing for the first time, I saw an opportunity. I was living in Montreal at the time in Canada, and this company in the United States was expanding into Canada. And this was around the time of deregulation of telecommunications, where it all, back in the day in the United States, AT&T was the biggest company in the world, and they were charging ridiculous rates. And so the government said, no, you're not going to do that anymore. And 2,000 companies came in to compete in an open marketplace. And one of them was the company that Hugh and I were involved in. And it was a massive success. Again, timing is paramount in almost every business decision you're going to make. And I said a business decision, not an income opportunity, but a business decision. And the reason I'm saying that is I believe this is entirely a business decision. And when we're talking about timing, I talked about deregulation of telecommunications. Now we're living through the greatest phase of deregulation, and we've seen many forms of disruption over the last decade, right? Hospitality was disrupted and birthed Airbnb. These are all multi-billion-dollar companies. We have in the United States, ride-sharing programs, because they're all over the world now. But ride-sharing programs disrupted transportation, right, and the traditional taxi industry, and became a multi-billion-dollar industry. Google disrupted search engines. Facebook disrupted social media. They all became multi-billion, bordering on trillions. But that really didn't do much for us. This one is different. This one is different because what we're witnessing now is deregulation of the largest industry in the world, and that is the world's banking industry through cryptocurrency and the program that we're getting involved with right now. What's most exciting for me when I talk about a business decision and recognizing paradigm shifts, which you may have heard in one of our videos, because it's a very important thing. We are witnessing a massive paradigm shift in this industry of finance, whereby now we are watching the combination of two things that have never happened before. Home-based businesses, network marketing, relationship sales have been around for 100 years, $100 billion a year industry. What it's never had before was a product like we have today, and that is wealth, equity, and wealth. So there are two driving functions here. Number one, we have, and we're talking to a group of leaders here, so I know you've already been exposed to Hugh's and the DAISY compensation model, et cetera, et cetera. We have one side of that. But the unknown factor, and when I say the unknown factor because it's never existed in our industry before until today, is our product. Hugh was just talking about the product. Well, our product is about as simple as it gets. Do you know anyone that wouldn't be interested in earning 100% interest on their savings? Of course, everyone you know is interested in earning that. In fact, they would be astounded to find out that it was even available. And yet it's so much more. And it's hard to fathom, really, because sometimes people look at it and they go 2,300%, 3 years, 800% a year. And it gets even better because if we look at the performance reports out of Endotech over the last 2 months, it's even higher. And so we're witnessing something that's never happened before. When a small shop owner, let's say a shoemaker in a town somewhere in Slovenia, I'm just picking a place, it doesn't really matter, who's managed to save, let's say something meager, $1,000. And he invests $1,000 in the Indotech platform. And at the end of the year, he has potentially more than $5,000. Do you think he's going to share that with people? Do you think he's not going to tell his entire family? Do you think he's not going to force his entire family to join him in that success? That is a viral component that we have never had before. It's never existed in the industry before, ever. And that's why I'm convinced that we're going to see more than 1 million people come into our opportunity. Here we are at the very beginning of it, folks. And timing, we say, well, as an example, I just want to use an example. When I got involved in the company that Hugh and I were involved in years and years ago, 2 decades ago, I got involved 6 years after they started. So one would say, well, you missed the timing. You didn't get involved when it first started. Well, it turns out that despite that, I built an organization that ended up being the second fastest growing in the history of that company. And it created millions of dollars for myself and my family, millions. And so timing is important, but it's not everything. But in this case, it is everything. And I'm saying it is everything because we're looking at now, many of you have been going, okay, we're ready to go. Where is it, right? And we're talking about this timing factor. And Hugh, I know you were doing a presentation, so I don't think you had an opportunity to listen to that 8-minute recording that I had with Jeremy, but that'll answer many of your questions. But the bottom line is everything is ready to go. What we're witnessing here is a group of 19 powerhouse network marketing institutional teams. But I'm talking about groups that have earned $50 million, $100 million, that have all banded together to launch D.AI.SY. However, as we're starting this avalanche, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before, where the Parks Department or whatever safety department for mountains, when they're covered in snow, decide they're going to start an avalanche because they know it's going to happen. They may as well stage one to get it out of the way so it's not a danger, right? So they put dynamite at the top of the mountain in strategic spots so that the whole thing comes down. Well, what we're dealing with here is the avalanche of Mount Everest. And to create that in a balanced fashion so that it affects all 1 million plus people that are going to come in this first year, it required a strategic planning at the very top. Being able to put these teams, assemble them together, and then basically light the fuse, and they all blow up at the same time, and this avalanche of massive avalanche of business comes flying down Mount Everest, and we all get sucked up into this thing with what they call spillover, right? Because it's massive. It's massive. D.AI.SY is ready to go. However, some of the members of these 19 teams, we didn't do enough diligence at the beginning and make sure that they all had the right wallets. And some of them were coming, and Hugh just went through this, some of them were coming from other opportunities and they had different wallets, but those different wallets don't work with our program and don't work with Tron. So a few of them didn't work as this trigger was getting pulled, as these fuses were getting lit, they sort of didn't light. They sort of fizzled out because there were the wrong wallets. Imagine how, really, if you think about it, we're talking about 120 leaders, right? And a few of the wallets were missing, so basically it stops everything. That is what's being corrected now. Whether it's going to take 24 hours, 48, whatever it takes, that is going to be lined out because everything else is perfect. And so once this is cleaned up, a little bit of housekeeping, the next time the fuse is lit, you guys better be ready. You had better be ready because we're about to witness something that has never happened before, is going to, and I've been saying about this about D.AI.SY since I was first introduced to it. The first day I recognized what was happening. And I said, this will not only dominate the industry for a decade to come and probably more, but will completely dominate every little bit of news that we get from this industry for the next 2 years. Every single article on this industry will lead with D.AI.SY, D.AI.SY, D.AI.SY. And there'll be some wannabes out there that try to emulate. You know, they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. But I think we have something so unique because what we have is Dr. Anna Becker, who is so progressive thinking. She's a brilliant woman that she says, I'm tired of helping billionaires become bigger billionaires. And what I want to do, and she said this is public information. What I want to do is bring what we do, the technology that we help billionaires become wealthier. I want to bring it to the average person. And the best way that I can see to do that is with relationship sales. And that is what D.AI.SY is all about. We're about to innovate something. We're about to change the world. Now, I know you may say, oh, Frank, please, that's a little much, isn't it? No, we are about to change the world, one life at a time, one family at a time, but 1 million a year. And the trickle-down effect, the real spillover, if you will, is when these families change their lives forever, when they are able to, even though may have struggled or just had a meager average income, right? If we look at the average family income in the United States, it's less than $60,000 a year. And that's a family of 4. And now all of a sudden, we look at this and apply it to anywhere in the world. All of a sudden, families can now reconsider where they live, what they drive, the education of their children. I mean, there's no better use of money than that, right? The education of their children, vacations that they could have never dreamed of. All of this now will become their reality. And do you think they're going to keep it to themselves? No. They're going to share it with their cousins, their sisters, their brothers, their aunts, their grandmothers, everybody. And when grandma takes $1,000 of her savings and it turns into 10,000, well, folks, we've never seen anything like that before. And I think you can imagine what that's going to do. This industry has never seen anything like that before. We've always seen services, products, traditional things, but not life-changing events that apply to anywhere in the world. Even someone that has to put together a family to gather the $100 to come in at the base. Right now we have 2 billion people in the world that don't have bank accounts, right? And so this particular business model is accessible to them. 2 billion people in the world, many of whom will find $100 or more to participate in something this revolutionary and something that can create as much financial freedom as what we are going to offer. D.AI.SY is going to change millions of lives. And when you have a vehicle that can change millions of lives, you change history. And that's where we are. And that's why the final slide in the presentation is we're going to create history. And we've already started. So what else would you like me to add to that, Hugh? You were so thorough. The only thing I can think of is to share some passion.
Frank, the team, we want to tell them about the video material you're going to put together for this team. The Diamond team that we've put together. We're building a massive organization, and also the presentations and the website and what we can do in that area. You have specialists helping you with that. Well, can you tell the team about that, please?
Sure. Well, we have a number of videos and business presentations which are accessible right now in the Telegram group. However, we're building a website. It's not ready yet, but it should be in the next 72 hours or so. And on that website right now, its primary function for right now will be as a repository for all our collateral, meaning business presentations in multiple languages, all our videos, all the stuff that you need to build your business will be in one place, a simple place. And so, we've had to create all this stuff at breakneck speed in the last few weeks, but we already have business presentations, I think, in 16 languages. Some of them are already outdated because there were some recent changes to the compensation plan to improve it. But those are minor changes, and we'll get everything brushed up and cleaned up and looking great and reflecting the, 1.8% versus 2.5 or whatever it is. Those small details are not going to change the fact that Endotech's performance is still Endotech's performance, that our matrix is still a 3 by 10, and that if 3 people bring 3 at $100, and we're going to, again, think about what I'm talking about, millions of people coming in, that 3 people who bring 3 at $100 can generate $340,000 for any one individual. Anyone involved in our matrix can champion over in excess of $300,000 by simply getting involved and starting the ball rolling, doing their bit to contribute to the avalanche. Do you know 3 people who are interested in earning 6 figures? And do you have $100? And that's it.
Yeah, well, Frank, I mean, based on that, and not everybody has seen all the material we have preparing and getting ready, but maybe if we focus on that right now, this 3 by 3, to share with your community and your team, how do I fill this matrix? That might be something you want to do because the benefits are colossal. And many of you have seen my training on this, and just if you'd allow me, because there's some new people on the call, that I believe everybody on this call knows 1,000 people, probably by their first name. You have people from your first school, your second school. For those of you that went to higher education, you know that crowd. You have family and friends. You have people in your first job, your second job. You have people on your email accounts, your telephone, social media. I believe we all know 1,000 people. And I believe that if you go and take out a diary for the year 2021, because it's the 21st year of the 21st century, and you take out the first few pages of the diary because you may not have used them yet. So go get yourself a diary, and don't get an inexpensive one at $3. Buy something worthy, something like $20, something that you don't want to leave down and forget, something that you need to have with you at all times, something that you can put your appointments in. Where's these presentations? What time is it in this language? When is the announcement? Where is the first event? When will I reach this point? When will I qualify? When does my 30 days finish? When does my new team members' 30 days finish? You need the diary for that and for your appointments. But at the front of that diary or at the back of that diary, start writing a list until your finger is sore, absolutely sore, that it's dented with a pen. It's so sore because you wrote these names. Don't leave the names on the phone because you won't ring them. Get them on a list and identify the top 100 people out of that 1,000. Just put an asterisk. And then what you need to do is you take the presentation, whether it's a recording, or you bring them to the new team website, where it will do all the work for you. If somebody needs to hear it in English or Farsi or Urdu or whatever language, if we can get multiple languages up, all you have to learn is these 2 words. Watch this. Watch this. And the presentation will be done for you. Or maybe it's one of my recordings that you can use if you feel they're beneficial. That you don't have to present this. Let somebody do it for you. And if you share those videos or that system with 100 people, imagine only 3 said yes. Imagine 97 people said, you're crazy, that will never work. But 3 said yes. Those 3 can change your life because 3, 3 is the foundation number of building this community. And imagine, I know people on this call found 3 in their first day. Some people are taking 1 whole week to show this to 3 people. Now that's very part-time. But if you got 3 people in 1 month, by the end of January this year, your front 3 positions are taken up by the end of January. And simply by following that process that these 3 people write the list, they identify which 100 will I get the information to. And if they only get 3 people, 3 3s are 9, by the end of February, guys, you have a massive team of 12 people in the next 2 months. And what that tells you is the people that have never been in this industry, that this business will attract, can do this. Not the leaders. You can do more. But if we teach, you find 3, they find 3, and if they use this process, you see, where this breaks down is people don't follow the system. The system is write 1,000 names. So if you don't write the 1,000 names, you've broken the first part of the system. The system says identify which 100 are you going to share this with. And then the system will say, if the presentation gets 3% success, you have 3 people. And if it takes you 1 month, you have 3 people in the first month. Then they have 3 in the second month. Then they have 3 in the third month. They have 3 in the fourth month. And if these guys do this, then you have 243 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations. February, March, April, May. What happens in June? Well, if you don't use the system, I don't know. But if you use the system, these people are finding 3, which means you have 729 brand new contributors to your crowd. And every time these guys make a contribution or upgrade or withdraw, your phone is going to become a smartphone. And I can tell you, a smartphone is a phone that makes you money. So your application, your Tron wallet, should start to fill up. Bing, 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 bing. What does that mean? Somebody joined. Bing, what happened? Somebody took money out. Bing, what happened? Somebody upgraded. Bing, because every contribution creates on the smart contract a payment to you. And your job is to build a systematic team. Now people are saying, give me your link. How do I get the link? Oh, the first person that gives me the link, I'll join with them. That's not business. You stick to your sponsor, to your team. You find your 3, they find their 3, because what happens is in July, you've got 2,187 people by July. And some of you guys think, well, this is slow. Yes, this is slow, but this is how you get 198 million. This is how you get $198 million. Because if you fill the matrix, the next thing you need to do is fill the tiers. So somebody can start with $100, take out some profit and upgrade to the $200 so you can pay it again. And then we teach them how to go to the 400. And then we teach them how to go to the next. And when you bring a team with you and everybody progresses through the tiers, as long as they progress through the structure, you've got yourself a serious business. And that's what we need to teach our teams. Yeah? Find a leader that can mentor you. Find a leader that can help you. Find somebody that can, in COVID times, it's difficult to travel. But I'm going to tell you, it's not a bad thing. Because I can do 7 of these a day in different countries all over the world. And that gets exciting. So what do we do with these new people? You see, you have the information today. These people may not hear the story until July this year. And if you don't teach them, what you do is you write down 1,000 names, and I'll talk to you in 2 or 3 days. Because it will take you a long time writing 1,000 names. Your finger is sore after 300 names. Go have a cup of tea, come back and write another 200 names and put it in your diary. And I know some of you won't get a diary. You need a business diary to conduct a business, because I can see your appointments. We know when the Zooms are on. We know when the events are on. And you have your list. You can also put your goals in there. When will I reach 24 individuals and 128,000? When will I qualify for the leadership bonuses? Yeah? When will I rank up? When will I hit 5,000 people in the team? You can establish your goals, your list, your appointments in your diary. That's the most important expense. It's not the $100 contribution. It's a $20 diary and a system to build a business. So what do? We teach these people to find 3, not the first 3, but systematically, if they show it to 100, with the expectations of finding just 3, then the next level comes in. 3 7s are 21, 3 8s are 24, and 2 is 26. 3 1s is 3, and 2 is 5. 3 2s are 6. So in 1 month, 6,500 contributions hits your phone. Bing, 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 hits your Tron wallet. And not only do these 6,500 hit your wallet, all of these ones are starting to upgrade and they hit your wallet for a second time. And not only that, but these guys are starting to withdraw profits. Bing, 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 it hits your wallet. And now you've got a smartphone making smart money through a smart contract. And what you're waiting for is a smart link that's coming to you very soon. So you need to start building the team and the infrastructure. You need to start getting your Tron and your applications sitting ready for this to grow. But what happens to these people in August? Teach them the system. 3 1s are 3, 3 6s are 18, 3 5s are 15 and 1 is 16, 3 6s are 18 and 1's 19. In 1 month, next September, 20,000 contributions hitting your wallet. And guess what happens now? In October, your matrix is full. In October, your matrix is full. Why? Because we teach these people this system. Write 1,000 names in a brand new diary until your finger is sore. Identify 100 and let me talk to them. Identify 100 and let Frank talk to them. Identify 100 and put them on the team website. Identify 100 and give them the video and let the video talk. Yeah? Bring them to me for your questions and your answers, because there is no company. We have a smart contract. A smart contract can't get a sore head. A smart contract can't go to bed early. A smart contract will always show up for work. A smart contract cannot get pregnant. A smart contract will always perform. And we've got a special situation here. If we have these guys do this, 3 3s are 9, 3 hits are 24, 3 6s are 18 and 2 carried over is 20, 3 9s are 27 and 2's 29, 3 1s are 3 and 2's 5. That's the matrix full in 10 months using that system. And here's why it'll fail. Because you won't buy the diary, you won't write the 1,000 names, you won't identify the 100 and send them the video or bring them to one of my webinars, and you'll get 3. Of course, some of you will get more than 3 out of 100. I spoke to 19 people. How many joined me? 18. Why did the one guy not join me? Unfortunately, he didn't have the money. He didn't want to tell me that. He didn't want to admit. He didn't want to say, he says, oh no, I've seen these things before. That's what he said. I've seen these things before. He didn't have the money. I nearly feel like paying for him to join the team because he's a good networker. You see, I would rather a good networker with no money than somebody that $100,000 that's going to sit passive. So if you're willing to work and come on this team, if you're willing to roll up your sleeves, there's no time to sleep. And as soon as we have our link, we will get that straight out to you. We'll start building this system. So that's enough for today. As soon as we get some extra communication, we'll get back to you. There's a lot of groups, a lot of things going on. Please be careful. Some people are saying they have their links. Nonsense. And some hackers are making false links to get your friends to go in and click on a link and lose their Tron. They're going to say, I have the link. It's going to look like D.AI.SY. It'll look like their website. They'll go in and put their Tron in and they'll steal your money. Only accept it from this team, from your true active upline. And I do wish you all the success. I would like to apologize on behalf of the founders for the lack of communication, but it's not a company structure that we have departments and HR departments and marketing departments to get you the information. We've got multiple languages involved, multiple languages. So if the message goes out in English, sometimes in a different language, the message changes. So stay tight, stay strong. I wish you have your best ever 2021. And I want to thank you for joining us. And please come to our presentations. We're doing 5 or 6 of these a day. With that, guys, we'll talk to you all soon. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.